Hey, what's up? Just gonna be doing a quick VOD review today because I have to be somewhere in a bit. Um, but before that, I just want to yap a little bit as well because I just had like the weirdest day yesterday when it came to rank. I ended up playing like three high-profile names on ladder, like guys who like I see on Twitter with their lists and like achievements and stuff. And I went out of four games, I went like 2-2, so that was like pretty cool. But after that, I just like started playing the worst One Piece I have in my life, and um, like if you look at this, I think I went like 13-2 or something, or 2-13 after, and I just like started tilt queuing, and yeah, it was pretty bad. So I think after today, I might I'll still probably do a couple more VOD reviews, but then I might take a break for like a bit for a couple days at least, just to try and reset the mental a bit, I guess. Anyways, let's go over the card by card again real quick. So list is the same from last time. I'm on the 16 searcher package with 8 Nami, 4 the event searcher, and then 4 Zorojuro. 2 of the Fat Zoros, 4 Usohachi, and 4 the Sanji blocker for the 2Ks. 4 Sanji Pudding, 3 Rush Luffy, 2 Luffy Taro, 2 DMG, 2 Luna, 3 Bagua, and 4 Stage. But as I mentioned before, I think I'm going to be moving off this list, but I'm not quite sure yet. I haven't really found a list that I've liked so far, and I think also like the rank results for like the most played decks and the highest performing decks just came out. And I think that one had the stun Luffy and stuff, so I might try that list for a while too, but we'll just see how it goes. So today's game is against Kalgara, which I think I needed to review this because I've been just getting shit on by this deck on ladder, and I'm not quite sure how to essentially play into it. I had like no idea what their deck does, but so before I reviewed this, I like went online and looked up a sample list and just kind of like read over the cards real quick. I think the only ones you have to be careful about are like the 2 counter events. I believe El Thor is the yellow version of Rad Beam, where it's 2k counter, and then they get up to 4k if you have like 2 life or below. And then the Earth Will Not Lose event is like a 3k counter, and then it allows them to search their deck for the stage, and the stage is just like a 1-cost searcher. So off of this counter event, it lets them play the stage, and then the stage can like maybe draw them into more events or like a 2k counter or something like that. So that's just something you have to be careful about. Otherwise, we can talk about the rest of the cards like while I'm going through the game. But yeah, let's go. And here I ended up winning dice roll and then chose to go first because I assumed like Kalgara, since their leader ability is like when they attack, if they have a Dawn attached, they can cheat out a character that has the same amount of Dawn that they have total, and then I think they take a life after that or something. So I thought like my initial thought was like, oh, I probably have to stop the aggression and then and take first away from them. But I think after looking at the list, like they don't really have a good 3 Dawn play. I think like they probably either raw play the dog, or they just search with Ashura, or like they play a stage or something like that, which is like kind of whatever. And then but if they go second on 4, they can Ohm Holly, so they get to double summon on their 4, which can get a little bit tricky for us. So yeah, this game I opt to take first, but I think going second is probably the move, but I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. So I look at my hand, and this hand would be absolutely cracked if I went second as well, so unfortunate for us, but we opt to go first. Stage might also be very important in this matchup because they run Zeus and stuff to blow up our Sanji Pudding, and if they do that, it can get a little tricky. So they start with the Shura, and then they reveal the Kalgara, this OP12 one. Oh, it's when like a life leaves like the field or something on their turn, they get to like draw a card or something. So here, don't have much to do other than search with the Nami. I think maybe I should have just poked 5 instead of poking 6 in case I found a stage off this Nami draw, but it's fine. Here... I don't know. I'm not sure what the best take here is. I think just another 2k is fine. I'm assuming we want to like have a lot of counters so we can stop like their aggression, or like minimize it at least in the early game. And then on 4, so they are able to play out the Ohm, but they whiff on the Holy Draw, and they don't have it in hand either, so we get a little lucky there. Here, debating on whether I want to swing 5 or 6. I think swinging 5 was probably better just in case I whiffed off of this, but I ended up finding the Sanji pudding here, and then now I can swing a 6. I don't think they run any KO triggers, so, or actually maybe Elthor. Yeah, I guess Elthor would have been kind of bad there, so maybe I should have just swung 5 again to start with. Because I think if this dies here, I'm in quite a bad spot. Swing a 6, and then they play out the draw Kalgara. I don't want to take too much damage here, because they can go like 6, another 6 with Ohm, now that they've taken a life, and it gets boosted, and then if I end up taking both, and then they play like a rush ace or something, then I'm in trouble, so... I decided to preserve... Oh, no, never mind. I end up taking that. I guess I don't mind going down to 2. But they play the Nolan to heal. And initially my thought was like maybe I just like try and push face because they have to take their own life to use leader ability. But I'm thinking I should maybe just play board in this matchup instead. I think the only thing here really I can do is... yeah, swinging into this Ohm, because it's gonna be like an annoying guy who can like chip for damage every single turn if I just leave him there. And then, assuming he leader effects next turn, it'll get boosted to a 6k again, so I want to poke at it while it's just the 5. I think I should have probably poked at this for 7, because realistically I'm not going to be gianting this turn either. I think I'll go too low on Dawn, and I want to play this Zoro out so I can contest their board a bit cleaner. Here, I should definitely be grabbing stage to play around Zeus and stuff like I mentioned earlier, but I decide to troll and grab a Nami instead, I believe. Which, if I grab the stage, I could tap my last Dawn, because again, like I'm probably not gianting here, and then I can cycle at the stage and then boost the Sanji pudding so it's safe from Zeus. Because here, what they can do is like attach 1 to leader ability, and then they still have like 5 left over to play whatever they want. Or they don't even have to leader ability here. They can like Zeus for 2, and then they have 6, so they can like Zeus, Kuma, and then heal back up, and then they're 3 wide, and then my Sanji pudding gets popped, and then they can swing like 6/6 into my Zoro, and then I'm in a lot of trouble at that point. So thinking maybe I have to save this, but instead I probably should have saved that, because I have to counter out of these swings anyways, since I don't want to go down that low. And if I do that, then I can potentially keep another unit on the board. So but they just play out this vanilla 8k beater, which if I find a Luffy Taro, then I can sort of match that aggression, but I don't have one, unfortunately. And then they do end up playing Akuma and leaving 1 Dawn up, I'm assuming for some kind of counter event. So if they're showing the counter event, then maybe pushing life here is better, just so I can get 2Ks out instead of pushing into the 6. And then the counter event. But like, to be honest, like, I'm not sure why they're so afraid of going solo, because I don't like, their board is better than mine at this point, so I'm actually in quite a bit of trouble. I think at this point I should be poking an 8 here at one of the 6k bodies instead of going into life, because Like, if I'm this Kalgara, I'm probably taking this every single time. And then just trying to clean up board after. But they sort of troll and give me a 2k, 1k. And now that they're down to 4 cards in hand, then I can definitely start trying to take the board back. And then they were able to save out that, so I decided to fire off the Luna here and freeze 2 things, which I don't think is too bad. I always have to be careful of dying in this position since I'm at 1 health and I only have 2 Dawn up. Double gianting here also gets a little bad, so yeah, I have to counter either way, so I might as well just counter out for the character at this point. And then if they swing like really big, we can just let it go, but because we need to preserve life at this point. Opponent takes some time to think. And then decides to jam 6 with Shura, which is a little crazy, but I guess they don't have anything better to play. I think you just jam bigger with your other big bodies at that point, but I'm not sure. He swings 8 into the Zorjo here, and then I probably, yeah, just like let that one go. It's probably not worth it at that point. And then they swing big here, which we get like maximum Bagua value, which is really good for us. And then they leave 2 up, and we rip a Sanji Pudding, which is probably like the best card we could have seen in this position. And we can just do some board cleanup at this point. Even if they save a lot of units, like we can at least like tax a lot of cards out of their hand. And with 3 giant, we're probably not dying. Events are the first one. And knowing gets a little tricky because I think if I swing 9 into here, it plays around this card, but it doesn't play around like that Rab Beam event. So yeah, I don't know. So I swing another 8. They give a 2-1. And decided, say like they have the Earth event and not the Rab Beam event. Or actually, they can't even use it. They're at 3 life, so I should probably take more note of that. So now they're down to 2 cards in hand. We have triple giant, so I think we're relatively safe. And there's like in semi-top deck mode as well, so them hitting into the 7k body is good for us because it's like easier for us to defend out of technically. End up gianting the 2k away, unfortunately. And then finally get the stage, but a little too late for that. I think at this point we just say screw it and we don't play around Zeus anymore. Our opponent takes some time to think. Swings another 7. And swings a 9. So just swinging some really greedy numbers here. And luckily we rip our 3rd Sanji Pudding, and now they're down to 0 cards in hand. So I decided to swing 5 with the Nami first. 7 with the Sanji Pudding, 7 with the other Sanji Pudding. And now that they've taken that, I can just go ahead and jam twice with the Rush Luffy after leader abilitying. And it probably gets there every single time. Yeah, and then they end up scooping because they're pretty bricked up. I think this lethal turn, though, like, I think there was probably a better way we could have played this just because we have Luna. In case, like, they get a Veggie trigger out of life or something. Because then I think what we could have done instead was, like, go 5 with leader. They have to take 7 with Sanji Pudding. They have to take. And then we go another 7 with the Sanji Pudding. If they counter out, then we can go 5 with this Nami, in which they have to take down to 1. Then we tap 7, restand with the Luffy. If they get like a Veggie trigger or something, then we have Dawn enough left over to like Luna and then stage, and then hope like they're split. I think their best split is like 10-12 or 11-11. And I think we survive, like we most likely survive the a 10 split, but I guess it depends on what the giant draws us. 11-11 I think gets a little bit dicier, but I think it depends on like what this life is and what I get off the giant as well. But I think that plays around any like crazy triggers that might have come out, but I don't know if they necessarily run Veggie or not. But overall, I don't think I played this matchup correctly. I just got lucky this game. And then in the future, I think I'm going to try and test maybe playing board a little bit more in this matchup. But if anyone has more experience playing against Kalgara, just please feel free to let me know how you approach the matchup and if it's been working for you, because I think generally this approach hasn't been working too well for me. But that's it for today. Thanks for watching. See ya.